All right, radical judges and lawfare continue to pester the Trump administration as they push common sense immigration policies. We have a second U.S. District Judge, Jeffrey Cummings, now ruling that ICE officers can be arrested at Cook County courthouses in Illinois if they violate his orders and arrest illegals without warrants. So you're going to have local authorities arresting federal immigration officers. The left, of course, loves using ideological judges like this as a hedge against democracy when elections don't go their way. This is what they do. In California, Mayor Karen Bass is even more radical. In her mind, nobody is illegal. Take a listen.
We know that this has impacted undocumented immigrants who in Los Angeles are Angelenos because we don't make the distinction. They are neighbors and workers contributing to our city, and they continue to be swept up in these actions, denied their rights, and subjected to fear and uncertainty without legal protection.
There's no distinction between citizens of Los Angeles and illegal immigrants in the mayor's mind. And Tom Homan is a border czar and joins us now, sir. Good to have you back on. We've said it a million times. You can't have a welfare state, especially like California, and also open borders together. It's a one-way ticket to a collapsing and bankrupt society. But I guess don't tell the mayor that.
Yeah, well, like she just rewrote federal law, apparently, because there's illegal aliens that are defined in federal statutes. They're defined in Title 8 United States Code. I mean, illegal aliens, a legal term, and they're in the United States. And if they're in the country legally, they should be afraid. They should be uncomfortable. It's not okay to be in this country legally. It's not okay to enter this country legally. It's a crime. So she simply, is ignoring what federal statute says. And look, bottom line is, ICE is concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. The data clearly shows it, and that's something they don't want to talk about. She ought to be thanking ICE for making LA safer, because that's exactly what they're doing. And as far as the judge in Chicago, I mean, we'll win that on appeal, because warrantless searches are allowed in federal law. Illegal aliens are likely to abscond. We've been arresting illegal aliens without warrants for decades. There's an administrative warrant that's part of the package, but we don't need a criminal warrant to arrest illegal aliens that's like to abscond. We take them in custody, then we go to the judicial proceedings. We're not going to stop doing what we're doing, and we'll win that on appeal.
Last week we had a guy named Eduardo Aguilar, an illegal, arrested after posting on TikTok soliciting the murder of your ICE agents. He wrote in Spanish, 10 dudes in Dallas with determination who aren't afraid to, and then in two skull emojis, meaning to kill, offering $10,000 for each federal agent. When he was arrested, he had a 9mm loaded handgun on him. This is where we're at. And I wonder how much of this do you think is coming from cartels, and how much of it's just coming from the rhetoric that we've seen here from the left?
Well, I think it's both. I think the cartels are hurting right now because we've got the most secure border in the history of this nation, which hurts their bottom line. They've made record amounts of money smuggling dope, smuggling drugs across the country under the Biden administration, sex trafficking of women and children, and alien smuggling. So now that border's secure, they're hurting. So the cartels are involved with, taking revenge on ICE and using internal gangs in the largest cities of this nation to attack ICE officers. But I think it's the cartels, but I also think it's the rhetoric, especially from elected mayors, elected governors, and elected Congress people who want to compare ICE to terrorists and the Nazis. And, when that's the far fringe on the left that become violent against ICE, they feel emboldened when the United States senator or a congressperson or a governor says ICE are Nazis and they're racist. That emboldens them to take more action against ICE officers. And that's why the threats up and the attacks are up over 1,000%. And look, I thought after numerous shootings in Texas where illegal alien was killed, a person was killed shooting at a Border Patrol facility, a couple of detainees were killed, an officer was shot in the neck at one of the detention facilities. I thought maybe the rhetoric would tap down after to see what's happening because of that rhetoric. But no, they're not pulling back out. They continue to do it. And this weekend at the No Kings protest, I watched more of the rhetoric. They've lost their minds. And I'm telling you, the bloodshed's not over if we don't address the rhetoric. I would think first of all, anybody wants to protest ICE, you don't like what ICE is doing, then go up in Congress and protest them because they wrote the law that ICE is enforcing. Congress enacts the law, ICE is enforcing the law. So you don't like what they're doing? Yell at Congress. They wrote the law. So we got to put things in perspective. But ICE officers, again, the vast majority of the people there arrested public safety threats, and we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, we talked a lot at the top of this show about what's happening with this administration in South America, and it's obviously everybody's interested in what exactly our interest is in Venezuela and now Colombia. There's been a lot of moves. We're putting a lot of support towards Argentina and the conservative government there, trying to kind of help him survive this as he tries to fix his economy there. And that's interesting to people that think America first. That's Trump's rhetoric has always been, what do we care about the rest of the world? Let's fix our own properties first. Is there any interest, is there any reason, is any part of the reason because of immigration? Are we trying to fix South America so that when you guys leave power, that we don't just import the rest of the world again? Is that a part of the equation at all?
Absolutely. I think President Trump's smart playing the away game. Let's stop let's stop illegal immigration before it reaches our border. Let's stop the drug flow before it gets to our border. So playing the away game makes sense. So he sent a strong message to criminal cartels who are smuggling fentanyl and other poison into the United States that under Biden administration killed over 250,000 Americans. Playing the away game makes sense. If we can stop illegal migration in the home country, if we can help that country succeed in creating jobs and opportunities in those countries, that way hundreds of thousands of people don't spend their life savings to give to the criminal cartels to make that dangerous journey and either drown in the river or die in the desert or get sexually assaulted by members of the cartels. It makes sense to play the away game, and I support President Trump in this plan. I think it makes sense.
And rather than just dumping money from the State Department into these countries via USAID, fix the core issues of the nations, which is a lot of times is, a dictator, a communist dictator, and people that live an impoverished life.
Exactly. Giving them money has never worked. We've been doing that for decades, and money never gets where it belongs because a lot of these governments are corrupt. President Trump wants these corrupt governments to be dealt with, and I think that's exactly what he's doing.
All right. Tom Homan, the border czar. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.